I'm Rebekah O'Dell, and I'm a classroom teacher in Richmond, Virginia, and I'm a blogger and author for Heinemann. 21st century literacy has to really think about the volume of information that our students are going to have to consume, not just now, but as they go out into the world. There are more demands on our reading and writing than ever before. Students are reading all day on their phones, on Twitter. They're writing all day, even in ways that they think aren't writing, when they post something online. And so for the 21st century, we have to teach our students how to be critical consumers of texts and critical creators of texts on their own, independent from a teacher in the front of the room who, used to tell them, this is what this means, this is how to write this. But we're preparing our students for things that haven't been invented yet. And so it needs to be a literacy that's more rooted in the skills of critical thinking, so that they can process all of the texts that they are seeing and then think about, okay, how am I going to enter into this conversation as a citizen of the world? In our keynote, we talked about all of the ways that mentor texts can guide and inspire our students at all phases of the writing process, from the beginnings of a piece where they're just gathering ideas, through the drafting and the troubleshooting and the icky, sticky parts in the middle of writing, and all the way to publication where they send their writing out into the world. So in our session, we wanted to show teachers what was possible in student writing when you use mentor texts at every phase and give them a few tools to help them start finding mentor texts for themselves. We did 2 breakout sessions today. One breakout session was about notebooks and using notebooks in the classroom as a way to gather and to collect ideas and as a way to get students started with mentor text work, sort of an entry point. We really believe that notebook work should be risk-free. It shouldn't be graded, it shouldn't be assessed, it shouldn't be collected. If our kids are going to become those critical creators of new texts, they need time to explore and to discover and to play with words in a way that's utterly risk-free. And so in our session, we walk teachers through the kinds of notebook work that we do using mentor texts and the ways that we use those to sometimes inspire bigger pieces of writing from our students later on, but to give them daily infusion of writing play to help them build writing muscles. Our second breakout session was about our new book. It was the first time we've ever shared this stuff with anyone other than our editor, so it was really exciting. It was about exploring analytical writing and how, again, we're working to make this kind of analysis that students, especially high school students, write more authentic, more like the kind of analysis that we read in The Atlantic or the New York Times or The Ringer. Those are brilliant pieces of writing analyzing texts, but they're not the Scarlet Letter. So we were thinking about how students can bring their passions and their content expertise for video games, for sports, for music, for art, into the classroom to teach them the fundamental skills of analytical writing that they'll use the rest of their lives. My call to action for literacy is to make it authentic. I think in this time in our country and in our culture, when there is so much information, we can no longer afford for the things we do in English class to be schoolwork. There's no time for school reading and school writing and things that don't exist in the real world. So as teachers of reading and teachers of writing, everything we do needs to be authentic and have a real world application and a real world mentor text that our students can look at, because that's what they need to start grappling with and dealing with, and that's what's going to make them successful citizens in the future.